Is Dolph Ziggler returning a good thing? I'm Oli Davis. This is Luke Owen. Welcome to the SmackDown review edition of the WrestleRamble, where you can put your super chats in, because we are joined, manning the chat section, by Andy Datson from WrestleTalk.com. But press the thumbs up button, leave us a comment down below. Andy's going to turn off the microphone, not music. We just got a few technical difficulties right now because
not my fault.
My own voice was coming back at me.
I've never seen someone so puzzled about how to turn volume down on a computer before.
What? Just close it. Turn it all off.
It was more of a shock at the noise.
Anyway, talking of shocks,
right?
Dolph Ziggler's only gone and bloody returned on SmackDown.
Yeah, honestly, who saw this coming?
No one. Least of all WWE. The report is that Kevin Owens was meant to be in this sort of Kofi Kingston feuding cycle. Sami Zayn's there. You've got like the team of KO and Zayn versus the New Day, and maybe Big E's there sometimes. Maybe he's injured because it still seems he's not actually medically cleared. But the reports are from Wrestling Observer and Fightful and many reputable sources. Owens isn't going to Saudi Arabia because he doesn't want to go.
Yeah, because of his connection and his friendship with Sami Zayn, and amongst other things.
We don't know that. We don't know
that
why.
That was Fightful's report.
Oh, Fightful said that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so Wrestling Observer just said they don't know why. Mm-hmm. But yes, but that makes sense because Sami is of Syrian descent. He wasn't allowed on the last one.
He wasn't allowed at Greatest Royal Rumble. I think he was injured for Crown Jewel, but I don't think he's going to be going to this one. Well, he probably wouldn't be allowed to go to this one either.
So Owens isn't really going to be around for Super Arabia on June 7th, which is the next pay-per-view. So apparently WWE call up Dolph Ziggler, who's on leave at the moment. He's doing stand-up around the country. He even has I think a date in Australia booked for June 7th when he's meant to be doing Super Arabia.
Wow.
Now. So this is last-minute stuff.
Yeah.
And he has just returned here in a main event WWE title picture with Kofi Kingston, most likely to lose and Thanos away again.
It's exactly the same situation we had last year with Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan was supposed to face AJ Styles for the WWE Championship at Crown Jewel, and then turned around and said, I don't want to do the show. So they had to hotshot the match on SmackDown and then have Samoa Joe run down and attack AJ Styles to set up this match at Crown Jewel because they needed to have a championship match there. So you had this sort of 1 week build to get to AJ Joe at Crown Jewel. And then as soon as that show was done and out the way, they went right back to AJ Bryan because that was the story they actually wanted to be telling. So what we're saying is these Saudi Arabia shows are now halting storylines and getting in the way of them. It's bloody Survivor Series, but in a different country.
Yeah. So let's talk about what happened. The show started, the sort of Kofi narrative thread started with Kofi and Xavier coming out right at the start of the show, and they said, we've got Big E coming back. And they brought out Big E under a big cover, a big veil.
Big cloth.
Yeah. And then they removed the cloth, and it wasn't Big E.
It was some guy, but he was wearing Big E's singlet, so it was very, very loose on him. More room for pancakes.
I thought that was very funny.
I liked it.
And then they were like, no, that's wrong. And
Who
they
are
take
you?
him out. Yeah, they take him out. And then they do the full Big E entrance with the, enter
Dunkin'
place name
Donuts.
here. And he comes out and he got a huge pop.
Huge pop for his return. He's only been gone 6 weeks, but it really felt like he's been gone longer.
I've missed him so much. He's such a fundamental part of the New Day.
Yeah.
They come down to the ring. It's done up like a welcome back Big E party.
Yeah, his presence and everything there.
And it was just like, they all cut a great, an amazing promo, but just really, really funny, affable stuff.
Referencing the Mama Lynch tweets that he's been doing and how he's been horn-dogging over her on the old Twitter machine.
And then Kevin Owens comes out, and he doesn't say a word. At least he doesn't say anything, does he?
No, my favourite thing about this, though, is that Owens' music hits and Sami Zayn comes out. Big E is incensed. He grabs one of the presents and tries to eat it. It's so good. Just grabs it, just has to go, because he's so mad.
But Sami Zayn sort of backs up Kevin Owens and does all the talking for him and says, I was gone for 9 months. I never got any welcome back party like this. And KO just turned around and walked off.
Yeah.
While Sami kept on speaking. I
really liked that performance by Kevin. It was just like, I don't even want to look at this. I've come out to interrupt you, but I just do not want to look at you, so I'm going to walk away.
And I know that was by design. Like, that was definitely the plan for this segment. Sami Zayn keeps on talking. Xavier trumpets over him, which is quite funny.
Making little fire noises.
And Sami got good heat here. I thought this was a well-received segment from the audience, and this set up Sami Zayn versus Kofi Kingston for later on. But watching Kevin Owens go down there, not say anything, turn around and walk to the back, knowing that he doesn't want to do Saudi Arabia, which implies a frustration with the company he works for.
Yeah.
It just adds another layer to that performance.
It really does.
Maybe it was quite method.
Yeah, and it effectively just writes him out of this storyline, I guess, for a little while. And I think Kofi beating Sami kind of writes him out of this storyline for a little while as well.
But, like, do you think it writes him out of the storyline for the next month until Super Arabia's out the way? Or is this what the hell are you doing, Kevin?
Well, Super Arabia's only in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
So you've got like a couple more weeks of TV to do where you can build this Kofi-Dolph feud and then just go right back to the Kevin Owens storyline. Just bring Owens back. You don't have to have him on TV for the next couple of weeks.
So unless WWE's changed drastically in the last couple of weeks, when you don't do things that they want you to do, that isn't usually received well.
You tell that's Daniel Bryan. He won the WWE Championship 1 week after refusing to go to Crown Jewel.
I would say Bryan's slightly in a different place, though.
Well,
I don't know. I'm interested to see how the Kevin Owens
I'm interested as well.
booking is followed up on.
But I could see them just, once Crown Jewel, whatever it's called.
Super Arabia.
Super Arabia. Once that's out of the way, then they'll just move back to where they go back to the original plans. This is just a creative halt. This is just a spanner has been thrown in the works through, again, probably the company's own fault, and they've got to work around it. We've got a 3-week workaround, but get back on track after that.
And that 3-week workaround is Dolph Ziggler, where you had the Sami Zayn versus Kofi Kingston match up later. Before the match started, Big E was shown attacked backstage. He was clutching his knee.
I wonder if it was the same person that attacked Sami Zayn at Money in the Bank.
Yeah. Did Sami Zayn attack Sami Zayn at Money in the Bank? and Xavier tells Kofi to go ahead and wrestle it by himself. But yeah, it was a good match. Nothing really special.
Well, it's all in the ad break. That was my biggest criticism I had about this week's SmackDown Live, is that there were 5 matches, 4 of them were hampered by an ad break.
Yeah.
And so you can't really get into the action. So really, it was fun while it lasted, but it didn't really feel like it meant anything. And yeah, Kingston won with the Trouble in Paradise. So Sami Zayn, he beat Braun Strowman because of the mid-card of Evil. But has he won any other matches since coming back?
His return match was against Finn Balor, I
which he
believe,
lost.
and he lost that, and that's what set off the heel character.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a shame because Sami's doing such good work with crap material, really, and he's getting beaten for it.
He just keeps getting beaten all the time, which doesn't make me think that he's like, a badass or anything like that, or a character that should be taken seriously. He's just there to be beaten up all the time.
It's a shame, yeah.
It's a shame.
It needs
It's a
to be
waste of
booked a little
talent.
bit more strongly. But yeah, there was no New Day involvement because of the Big E stuff.
Yep.
But there was no Kevin Owens involvement either.
No.
Like, KO didn't come out to help Sami or cheat
He's
for
walked away.
Sami's advantage, which was interesting. But then, Kofi is celebrated in the ring. He's just beaten Sami. And Paul Heyman walks out with the briefcase.
Even like teasers opening up the briefcase, and I thought, mate, Brock barely works Mondays. He's not coming in for a Tuesday.
I didn't, but I never bought into that.
For a second.
But I appreciate them trying to...
Cough's still there.
Yeah, a little bit. I appreciate them making it seem like that plate is still spinning with the briefcase.
Yeah, because there's an announcement on Monday. I didn't watch Raw. There's an announcement on Monday, is there not?
Yes, that's what they promoted. We'll see if they deliver.
Yeah.
But then
this company's well known for promoting things and then delivering on them.
Then out of nowhere, this guy in a hoodie runs in and starts beating up Kofi Kingston, and it's Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
Who we haven't seen since
The Royal Rumble.
The Royal Rumble,
Where he was a babyface.
Yeah, and he eliminated Drew McIntyre.
In a storyline that was never followed up.
Yeah.
on. Because he's effectively meant to be gone. He's meant to be just doing his comedy tour. But as you say, this is only here because Kevin Owens isn't doing Super Saudi, and so he's off to do this instead.
So Dolph just annihilates Kofi. I was, and this was a hot crowd, I would say. It's a hot crowd for Raw as well, but no one really reacted to Dolph here.
Well, why would you? We've been conditioned for the last 15 years not to care about Dolph Ziggler. So when he comes out doing this big angle, why would you care?
But it's weird because some people that does work. For some, like somehow it worked for Bayley when she won the match, or if I can't think of many other examples, but sometimes it works.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. I think with Bayley, my only argument to that could be is that I think there has been an underlying want for Bayley to have her big championship win moment, which really she didn't get the first time round because she won because Sasha Banks helped her. She didn't actually beat Charlotte Flair fairly. She cheated to win, the big baby face that she is. That we've been, for the last sort of 3 years have been just like, oh, maybe now. And we finally got that moment. I think if you'd have waited another 5 years, she wouldn't have had that moment. If you had another 5 years of maybe now, she wouldn't have had the reaction she got on Sunday.
That's probably it, because although Kofi had the 11 years before he got really hot recently, the last 3 years have been him very solidly at the top of the tag division with the New Day.
Yeah.
Whereas Dolph Ziggler, he's had the 11 years, but has just been on the downward trend the entire time.
Yeah.
And really, unfortunately, any chance of that goodwill, I feel, was expired at least 4 years ago.
And I've got to think as well, like I get why they've done this angle if Kevin Owens has pulled out, but can you imagine doing this angle but with Buddy Murphy? Instantly establishing a new top guy in this division who has just been in there and is complete decimated. Because I thought this was a really good beatdown. It made Dolph Ziggler really, really vicious. Problem is, it's Dolph Ziggler. So it's hard to care about it and get invested in it. But if this was Buddy Murphy or Aleister Black or something like that, it would have felt like a really, really big deal. And we'd have been talking about the beatdown, not the shock return.
Yeah, I agree. Those are definitely the best options, particularly Buddy Murphy. I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
I know Randy Orton is in the Triple H match for Super Arabia, but I still want to see that Randy Orton-Kofi Kingston match for the title.
Yeah.
I think that's big time. Randy Orton has got huge name recognition, so that would help out Kofi even more to build him up as a player.
Absolutely. This feels very mid-card. This feels like mid-card vortex.
Yeah. This is US title from 6 years ago.
I said this in the review today. I said that Dolph Ziggler and Kofi Kingston had so many matches in WWE for a period of time. It became a running joke. So to then promote that again, but for the company's top title, feels a bit like a joke.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like legit or anything.
Where is Dolph Ziggler drafted to?
Well, SmackDown, I guess.
Or is he a wild card?
No, I'm going to guess SmackDown. He might be a wild card. I don't know.
Who cares? Like there's even a brand split. So maybe Dolph will get hot off the back of this. He Pillmanized Kofi's neck. They did a big stretcher job. The crowd reacted well to Kofi.
Yes.
Like I felt like there was one guy like this, really shocked for Kofi.
Yeah.
But I think that's more an investment in Kofi than it is in Ziggler.
In booing Ziggler.
Yeah. And I just thought, well, why didn't Brock cash in here?
Well,
if Paul's out
he's
there.
not there.
Yeah. But then, interestingly, later, and this at least provided some intrigue for Ziggler's turn and return. He's talking to not Renee Young backstage, and she's like, "Why did you do it?" And he just takes the microphone out of her hand and says, "I'll tell them. I'll tell them right now." And I was dreading that it'd say, "I'll tell you next week," because that's so lazy and like. What? Who
very
cares?
WWE thing to do.
Yeah, but he didn't. He took the microphone and he walked out and he cut a promo at the top of the ramp and said, I get why you're booing me. I would boo me too if I was in your position, but it should have been me." And he kept on coming back to how, Kofi got the spot when Ali was injured, but it should have been me. He beat Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania, but it should have been me. And he wasn't doing this like a heel promo Dolph Ziggler, a classic Dolph Ziggler heel promo. He was doing it on the verge of tears.
Yeah, he sounded like he was about to break down at any point. This is the best promo he's ever cut.
No, it isn't.
You reckon? What do you think is his better promo?
Like anything of the #heel stuff from Zack Ryder's True Long Eyes.
So on WWE, I mean.
Yeah, but even in that time, he was a very good promo when he was allowed to go out there and cut stuff.
That felt like character work. This felt like an actual real promo.
No,
I felt this was more from the heart than just being like, haha, I'm #heel.
Yeah.
Which is just a character thing.
Well, I still thought this was a character thing, but his character now is, I'm at the end of my rope, I'm slightly disheveled.
It's fair enough, but I think this would, for me, personally, this is way better than any of the #heel stuff.
I
Although,
think,
I'll be honest, I completely forgot about that gimmick.
I think Dolph's early promo work and promo work around when he was actually popular, so before 5 years ago, was very, very good. But yeah, this is I'm glad they took a different direction for it, and I thought Dolph's performance of it was very believable. So that is the hook that has got me in now. And maybe they can even actually make Dolph feel special again.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's sticking around.
That's it. It's like, okay, you make Dolph feel special, but I know he's not winning.
Yeah.
And if he does win, you haven't built him up enough.
Well, that's what I mean. Then if you give all of this, but you give it to a Buddy Murphy or an Aleister Black, and then you've got someone that you can continue this on with. And it's also building a new star. And in a period of time where we're pushing Undertaker versus Goldberg as the main event of the next show and Brock Lesnar as the Money in the Bank winner, I just feel like now is the time we want to be pushing some new stars, not just going back to the Dolph Ziggler as a main eventer which dried up a long, long time ago.
Yeah, because they are pushing Kofi incredibly strongly. He's beating everyone and it's clean. And I think they booked him really, really well.
Oh, yeah.
But maybe he beats someone who really, really matters.
Yeah.
Maybe he does face Brock and he beats Brock. Like if they were really behind him.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're behind him to the extent where he's in this little pocket and then the real stars are up here still. They're booking him really strong as an upper mid-card champion.
That's exactly it.
But really there's a main event that's different.
It's CM Punk as champion. CM Punk was never the guy when he was that champion. In that big 400 long day reign, he was never the guy until he started feuding with The Rock.
Yeah.
Because John Cena versus John Laurinaitis was the big feud. That was the one with all the big stars in it.
I mean, sometimes it's unfortunate that you're the champion, but two massive stars come along at the same time and have a classic rivalry.
Like John Cena and
John Laurinaitis. So that's unfortunate.
You have to headline pay-per-views with John Cena versus The Big Show because CM Punk's just he's not a draw enough as a champion.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah.
Like Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin came along at the same time.
Yeah.
CM Punk and John Laurinaitis. So we have had your super chats. Randy Andy Datson, hit us up.
Yes, well, we start with a message from Ryan Mills, who says, genuinely don't like the way Luke and Ollie speak to Andy. There's constructive ways to approach being obviously frustrated with someone. That was about the volume at the beginning.
Mate, you just looked at me with a panicked look on your face.
But
you're producing this show.
But whose fault was it? That the sound was on.
I'm going to guess Simon because he was the one that was editing yesterday.
Well,
Randy, I mean, in all fairness, mate, if you'd have done your checks, if you'd have checked those things, it wouldn't have happened.
It's never happened before. Sean Turner says, how to connect
always
Bayley...
someone else's fault. That's my favourite thing about Randy. It's always someone else's fault.
Well, it was. Sean Turner, how to connect Bayley with Sting. One Scorpion Death Drop finisher. Then when she turns to Bayley Sting, that becomes her new finisher. It's genius.
Someone sent, I can't remember who it was, but someone sent me on email, Bayley had tweeted or done a Snapchat story or something of a Bayley figurine, but they'd put Sting underneath it.
Oh, yeah?
And it was a genuine production mistake. No. And Bayley had said, no, this is wrong.
Yeah.
What is happening?
Do you think that's one of those cases? Because Lance Storm tells this story from his WCW days, that there was a Lance Storm and Jericho 2-pack, or it was like a Lance Storm and Eddie Guerrero figure 2-pack that he went to buy from his Toys R Us. When he scanned it scanned through as Hogan Sting. So Hogan and Sting got the residuals for the toy sale. So maybe that's just a case there. It's like Sting got the merchandise money then.
Yeah, part of his deal when he came
for
back.
Bayley toys.
Victor Vega says, it should have been me. Now give me what I want. I don't know what it means, but we'll move on.
I think he's just saying catchphrases.
Yeah.
Give me what I want. Should have been me.
Sorry, I've just been conditioned to think Victor's saying unusual things. That's all. Small Afro Games, who is
Jaron Walker
says, "Have you guys read the Ashley Massaro affidavit?"
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, we have. Yeah,
It's awful.
dark stuff.
Sean Turner is back. Says, "If you like my idea, give me a 7. If not, give me a 9."
He's Sting Bayley guy.
Yeah.
If I like it, give him a 7.
If not, give him a 9.
What? Why is that the scale?
I don't know.
I'm going to give you a 0.
Gonna
Been
make my own
quite
scale.
clear.
Siki or Kiki possibly, who says, "Who is Vince's most favourite? Roman, Lesnar, or Charlotte?"
Roman.
Yeah, I'd say Roman. I think his relationship with Brock is quite. Oh,
Yeah.
you keep getting me, and I just want to have you back all the time. It's a love-hate thing, probably,
Yeah,
but a respect.
But like Roman is like he's the favourite.
Oh, Roman, with your beautiful hair.
You're the Omni Roman. You get to go across both shows, and no one ever questions it.
Jobber JJ, R-Truth is the best 24/7 champion ever. I mean, he is the longest running.
Longest reigning champion. Yeah.
I still like Robert Roode's run.
Yeah, hiding in a boot.
Yeah.
It's about the only thing I actually watched from Raw. In fact, it was the only thing I watched from Raw was the 27 stuff.
It was good.
If
24/7
there
stuff.
had been more champions this week, I was going to suggest to Pete that we did for our weekend video the best 24/7 champions and
Nice.
just do a little, but maybe next week. Michael Sands of Time, R-Truth should hide his 24/7 title by disguising himself as K-Quick.
I think people
To cycle through gimmicks, that'd be quite funny.
That'd be good, yeah. I mean, surely people would still recognise them, though. Because, like, aren't you R-Truth?
No, well, that will be part of the comedy.
Oh, yeah?
No one knows it's him when he's. It's like Clark Kent's glasses.
Comes out as NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Run the Truth Killings. Yeah. Oh, sorry, NWA World Champion.
Adrian Wells says, "I watch y'all every week. I love the show. Keep up the hard work. Have y'all heard the rumours about Big E helping Dolph win the title at Super Showdown?"
Where are those rumours
I
from?
haven't heard those either. It's been one of those things where someone tweeted it and then we're going, "Oh, what a rumour."
Yeah, I've not heard those rumours.
No.
And I don't buy into it either.
He's not cleared either. Yeah. Although Biggie and Dolph have history.
With AJ Lee, I suppose. Yeah, when they were the Final Fantasy VII crew.
Dolph brought up Big E
Yeah.
into the main roster. Wow, maybe. Wow, it makes sense.
Which means it definitely won't happen.
The phone czar says, #rock out with your Brock out.
Okay.
Cool, yeah.
Mr. Doback says it is 12:08 a.m. in Australia. So thank you for
Well
watching.
done,
Thank you for
Aussie
watching.
crew.
Thank
You're
you for
always
staying
here.
up with us.
Jer Personen, who you might not have seen yesterday, Luke, but he rated Ollie as a B
Yes,
level.
I did hear this. Ollie was like bottom of the table or something.
Well,
I was second bottom.
you were super level, and then I think it was me.
Well, we don't need to recap these, do we?
Anyway, Jeb Sonner says, "Ollie, I'm sorry. I was joking. Of course you are S tier."
Is everyone S tier, Jer? Everyone's S tier,
Everyone gets a participation medal.
but I'm a little bit more S tier.
We also need to know what those stand for, but what we will move
It
on.
could be another word for rubbish.
Yes. Brandon Rayner says, Danshoku Dieno is the Iron Man metalweight champion. Wikipedia is wrong. He won after the main event, and then he kissed me. Wrestling is better than everything.
Well, yeah, it sounds like the Iron Man heavy metal weight belt. It's quite difficult to keep up with.
Yeah.
And if you read something on Wikipedia, it's probably 2 days out of date,
Well, I was
which means
gonna say, yeah.
4 title changes have happened.
Yeah, Wikipedia, it's user edited. So
There's a lot of users, though.
A lot of users, but clearly not enough people are working together to keep this list updated.
Venom Kitetsu says, Andy to AEW confirmed. So hopefully an Andy and AEW shirt soon.
Well, they are a t-shirt company, so
Andy Elite
it's
Wrestling.
probably the best place to go to get that done. My favourite thing, about the 24/7 championship was when I got some messages from people. I suddenly realised that I'm old, where they were just like, "Oh, they've just copied the Iron Heavy Metalweight Championship." I'm like, "No, it's a parody of their own. Like that was a parody of the hardcore belt.
Yeah.
This is their own creation."
Vince has never seen
No, absolutely not.
Christopher Hamilton Sr. says, Big E heel turn is coming, gents.
No, it's not.
We're going to look stupid when it happens.
Well, no, we won't look stupid. WWE will look stupid for doing such a stupid thing.
No, we'll look stupid for not foreseeing how stupid WWE can be.
You made a good point.
I'm just going to get behind it, but I'm not getting behind Sting Bayley.
Josh Paulson on a poll says, for someone who was such a great wrestler, good gravy has WWE stuffed Ziggler royally.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a period of time when he was like super over.
He was my favourite wrestler.
Yeah, he was everyone's favourite wrestler when he was doing his
When he
hashtag
did
heel
that
stuff on
cash-in.
Twitter. The cash-in against
amazing,
Del
yeah.
Rio. He was like on the precipice of being and like, you know, one of the all-time superstars of that people will remember. But they just give up on him at every single turn. And he just keeps going back.
Adam Pearson says, should WWE and Saudi politics be kept separate?
Like in the presentation of the shows.
I think he just means, maybe it means in general, like, should we talk about the shows without talking about the
I think
politics
that's what he
that
means,
go
yeah.
behind
Right.
it?
I think it's
It's difficult.
well, it's difficult, but it's also, I mean, we've said it all now. It's not going to be fun to listen to us if every time we talk about WWE, we bring up all the abhorrent parts of the Saudi Arabia deal. So yeah, I've stopped talking about it really. I don't know if that's the right thing to do, but from a content perspective, I think it will make it more enjoyable for you, the viewers.
Anonymous says, are they going to keep Bryan and Rowan away from television until Super Arabia is over?
Possibly, yeah, because I suppose the Usos are now set up for a tag title shot, and they're not going to do that at Saudi Showdown because Bryan won't be going. So I guess they'll have to wait till afterwards.
D.S. says, would adding a stipulation to the 24/7 belt make it more interesting? Anyone able to hold a belt for 30 days earns an undercard title shot or something like that.
It's a comedy belt.
Yeah.
I think if you, I mean, that would be quite a fun bit of storytelling. It would really, when you get to like day 29, it would, maybe that's the joke. Maybe if you get to hold it for 30 days, you get a universal title shot.
And no one ever
but
does.
no one ever does.
Yeah.
And that's all, but then like one day, Kurt Hawkins manages it.
Yeah.
And he gets just a throwaway Raw Universal title match. You build that episode around it. It's a comedy main event. And maybe he wrestles better than anyone thought he would.
Yeah.
And by God, you might get him over separately. And of course, he doesn't win the Universal title, but he elevates him.
You say he'll get him over, but he's the Raw Tag Team Champion.
Is he?
Been on TV in about...
Yeah, it's a comedy belt. I wouldn't overthink it.
The Raw Tag Team Championships.
Well, both, yes. Yeah. Both, yeah. But yeah, 24/7 chat. It's a comedy belt for comedy nonsense.
Limps says, Tomo versus Randy Danson in a merch on a pole match. I mean, I'm game.
Tomo wants merch
And
now.
speaking of which, Tomo once again proving he is the wealthiest man in Australia with an incredible donation. So thank you very
Tomo.
much.
Thank you very kindly.
I now want Dolph to win. He probably won't, but he should. Also, I am the most over in the chat, not Randy Danson.
I mean, I think you are the most over in the chat, but Dolph should definitely not be winning that title.
No.
He shouldn't be within an arse's roar of that title. He should far from winning it.
Tomo's career trajectory has been fascinating to watch.
It really has.
First off, you know, he's the chat
he's
guy.
just a name.
Then he's Randy Datson's number one fan.
I just noticed that he was being very lively in the chat. So I'm the one. I'm like Dolph Ziggler who
Look
brought
at Randy
Big E
taking credit for it.
I'm like Dolph Ziggler who brought Big E into WWE. I brought Tomo into the hearts of everyone.
I think Tomo's wallet brought him into the hearts of everyone.
Yeah,
the amount of
fair
super
enough.
chats.
Send me some money. Tomo. Ben Isaac says, we love Randy Orton. Don't talk about him. I think he meant me. I think earlier when we were discussing.
Okay.
Randy Orton.
Well, we were also talking about Randy Orton.
You could have been talking about Randy Orton.
Yeah.
No, just because this came just after you had started. Anyway. Jeffrey Pridemore says, how long until Carmella tries to pin our truth?
Yeah, I thought that was going to happen.
Oh, you see, now I'm thinking it's Lars. I think you have Truth hold it for a couple of days, and then you have Lars be the one who beats Truth for the belt.
Oh,
and then you
So
have
someone's gotta beat Lars.
you then have the that's it. You have the unstoppable Lars who you can't get the belt off of.
Oh, I hate that
No,
idea.
that's rubbish.
I never said it was a good idea. I just figured the Truth was feuding with Lars a couple of weeks ago, unless that's been dropped.
Probably been dropped.
Oh, okay. He's feuding with Lucha House by now, I think.
Lord James has Roman as WWE champ at SM when Brock cash in. Love you, SM.
Stomping
Mounds.
Stomping Mounds.
So it could be Stomping Mounds. Better name than Stomping Grounds.
Super
Mario? No, I don't know.
Anyway, so I think he wants Roman to be the champion when Brock cashes in.
I don't want to see Roman and Brock again, but like I said yesterday, I can see Brock cashing in on Kofi, so you get Brock versus Roman for SummerSlam. And that's how you get the belt from Kofi to Reigns, which, let's be honest, is really it's
the ultimate goal.
Ultimate plan.
Yeah. I don't like that.
No.
But I
Better than your Lars idea, though.
Thanks, man. I figured after Money in the Bank that they would just announce that he's cashing it in for Saudi Showdown to face Seth Rollins. That's what they'll announce on Monday, and then Seth will still win and retain the title, and then Brock goes again. He's had his payday, and he's off.
It'll be a swerve, and they'll cash in on Kofi.
But he's already cashed in.
He wasn't even in the match, Luke. Rules don't apply.
Oh, okay.
So he'll cash in twice.
Yeah. It's probably worth it.
How many more we got for this part?
11.
Oof.
Let's do 3 more.
Okay. Tim Arendt says, just joined Patreon for the sole purpose of supporting you guys. I know you guys will help me get through my first uni exams. Keep up the good work. Well, good luck to you, Tim.
Absolutely, good luck to you, and thank you so much. But I would say don't do it for the sole purpose of supporting us. Get all that extra bonus content that's there for
Wrestle
you.
League.
WrestleRamble Extra. That's what
Ramble
you want to
Club.
Ramble
Shout
Club.
outs.
Get your ears into all of it.
We are 2 Patreons off of 1,100 Patreons right now.
Yeah.
Sure.
And at 1,500, we foolishly said we'd put on a wrestling show.
Because we thought we wouldn't get that far. And now it's almost within an arm's reach. Frighteningly so.
Yeah.
2 more then. We got Aaron Cash, who says, been a big-time fan for ages. How would you book a major star winning the 24/7 championship? By the way, first time live because it's 2 a.m. in New Zealand.
Wow.
Thank you very much for sticking around with us. I wouldn't. It's a comedy belt. I feel that would then devalue that person that won it.
I said it yesterday. When Kevin Owens is in comedy Kevin Owens mode, I think he should win the belt.
It would make me so sad to see Kevin Owens then feuding with Jinder Mahal and the other squad.
No, he feuds with everyone by that point. Like even the main, he'll be walking along, and the main event guys would like be talking to him, and then a referee would just lurk in the background, and he'd run. I think of all the top guys, Owens could do it very, very well.
He's about the only person. Yeah. I don't want to see Seth winning that belt.
No.
Not at the moment.
William Adams says, what if Shane and Corbin formed an ultimate mid-card of evil that went over both brands because wild card?
The Authority. Shane should start his own version of the Authority where you have Lashley and Corbin and Drew as sort of like his underlings.
Corbin and Shane are the same heads of the heads of the same body. Drew McIntyre, Lashley, Sami Zayn, Elias. They all get sucked into this Corbin-Shane vortex.
Oh, yeah. I felt so sorry for Drew at the end of this show. Yeah. We'll get to that. Should we crack on into the review?
Yes. So, but just before we do, we are live streaming AEW's first ever official show this Saturday. And we want you to join us. If you are in the UK, because people have been asking, watch it at ITV Box Office. Go over to itvboxoffice.com for more details and follow at ITV Wrestling on Twitter for all the updates. We want as many people to watch it as possible.
Yes.
We support independent wrestling, but we also support a major alternative product.
Well, that's it, yeah. So we did the live stream for the G1 Supercard, and not a lot of people joined us to make it think that we wanted to do more New Japan live streams because it effectively cost us money to do it. And
the interest isn't there.
The interest wasn't there. So what we want to see is we want to see a big swell of interest for Double or Nothing so we can do more AEW live streams in the future.
But it's also for like whatever we can do to help AEW as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we really are behind them.
Yeah. So SmackDown opened with Elias and Shane chatting backstage.
Yeah.
Heel heels.
Elias was saying that the crowd were cheering him so much for his song at Money in the Bank. That's why he lost to Roman Reigns. I thought it was good heel work there for apologising.
Yeah, Elias is very good, and his comedic timing and delivery is really good. And did he say he wants to be in Shane's corner?
Yeah, are they having a match at Super Showdown?
Shane and Reigns are.
Okay.
That was booked on Raw.
Okay, cool.
But Drew, I think, is also going to be in his corner. So Drew and Elias.
Well, no, he said that he doesn't want Elias in his corner.
Because he's got Drew.
But yeah, he said, I don't need you. I don't want you in my corner, but I'll be in your corner tonight for the Money in the Bank rematch.
I just kind of phased out. This was at the start of the show, and they managed to make me phase out.
So I think the report is that the Shane Elias partnership is done now, and they're replacing Elias with Drew.
Who's not on the show? Who's not on SmackDown?
Oh, he's on, but Reigns is on Raw anyway, so just move that feud to Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah. Okay. Then we got the Big E return bit. We've already covered that. And then we got R-Truth. Carmella is looking for R-Truth backstage. She walks past a few people.
Drake Maverick
is handing out like wanted posters for R-Truth. It's funny stuff. It's goofy.
Apart from Apollo Crews, who could not have tried less.
Yeah.
He was like, I am also looking for R-Truth.
Not even smiling.
Not even smiling.
I thought that was your face. How are you not smiling?
It looks like he was in catering and he was in the middle of a bloody lovely burrito. And then someone came over and said, can you be in the same? He was, I'm in the middle of this burrito. Do I have to? And they're like, I'm afraid you have to, mate. You got to get up. So he went up there, gave no Fs with it whatsoever, and then just walked right back to his burrito.
But someone who was giving all the Fs was R-Truth.
Oh, yeah.
In drag.
Yes, R-Truth was dressed up like E.T.
Yep. Like E.T.
Yeah, you remember they
like
the disguise
a
for
lady.
E.T.
And yeah, he's got a blonde wig on as a disguise, and Carmella sort of ushers him to a secure area.
And you say, I mean, the disguise clearly worked because he was standing in the same corridor as Apollo Crews and Drake Maverick, and they did not see him, and they were specifically looking for him.
Yeah.
So it was very much a good disguise.
And this was where I thought Carmella's moving him into a cloakroom or something so she can pin him and win the belt.
Exactly. Do the little Gerald Briscoe sleeping tactic.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
But unfortunately, it seems it very much is just for men.
Well, for now.
For now.
I think if it's not my genius Lars idea, then it's going to be Carmella. I think Carmella is actually the second best option behind Lars.
I still inanimate objects. I really want inanimate objects. Nicholas and animals.
Referees. I'd like referees doing it.
Kathy Kelly.
I'd like to see, green shirt guy. Who's
always the fan.
Yeah, the fan. The guy with the long hair.
Yeah.
Like him and his mum should the guy with the long hair should pin one of the wrestlers and then his mum throw him off and pin him and become champion as well.
Great. Yeah.
Like you want to do that at Access.
What a lovely way to give back to your super fans as well.
Exactly, yeah. You're always front row for all your events.
You'll be canon. You'll be canonically.
Canonically, yeah.
A champion in WWE.
You'll be on Wikipedia.
And that's the sort of thing they'd care about.
WrestleTalk.com.
Yeah. So after that, we got Ali versus Andrade, who had, I thought, a very good match from what I saw of it.
Which wasn't a lot of it.
It wasn't chopped up as bad as Cesaro Ricochet, which was on Raw the previous night, and the crowd are chanting, "This is awesome," and you're like, what? Like, you showed me a replay, but I didn't see it happen IRL. Yeah. It was ad break, shrink screen. It was,
Secret Life of Pets.
That was really bad. But this, I like the structure of this match. Ali was really heavily selling his back. It was all taped up from Money in the Bank. Money in the back.
Yep, go on. I particularly like Andrade, hitting him on the outside to get a count out, roll back in. Ali gets back in at 8. So Andrade was like, I'll just take you on the outside harder then. So he just goes over, just powers him over into the timekeeper's area, rolls back in the ring, like, count him out. That's like really smart wrestler work, right? Like if you want to win by count out and you get to 8, it's like, well, I'll just beat him up more on the outside to ensure I get a count out victory.
Yeah, if you hit your finisher on someone and pin them and they kick out, don't sit there screaming at the referee. Pick them up, hit the finisher again. And cover. Yeah. Or maybe hit 3 finishes in a row.
Exactly. Bobby Roode it in NXT.
Knock them out to the maximum extent.
Yeah.
Fill up their damage bar.
Yep.
Then pin them.
Get the head all on red.
Yeah.
And then pin them.
But I thought this was a good match.
Yeah,
I like the finish as well because Ali looked really strong. Andrade didn't really lose much. Andrade really had it won. double knees into the corner.
To the back as well.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
Yeah, that was the kind of false
the
finish,
finish,
wasn't
yeah.
it? Yeah, so Andrade went to pin him, and I believed in that pin. So great kick out, and then Ali rolled him up to win.
Got a surprise roll-up. Yeah.
And surprise roll-ups are overdone in WWE. I didn't mind it here.
Well, we didn't get Angry Joe face afterwards.
Yeah. Then we got Truth is being dressed up as a more convincing woman backstage by Carmella.
He was being put into Carmella's gear with the little hat and everything. And then she handed him a bra to put on.
A massive bra.
It looked like a comical bra.
Yeah.
Like a joke bra had been brought out.
But, I mean, it's a shame we didn't get, like, someone hitting on Carmella Truth.
Oh, yeah. Should have been Drake Maverick.
Drake Maverick. Like, have you seen our Truth anywhere? Oh,
Oh,
Carmella. I
yeah.
didn't know you had a sister.
Exactly,
Which
yeah.
makes even less sense because of the skin pigmentation
Oh
difference.
my God, that would have been so good. I thought Drake was great in this show anyway, because when they're all chasing Truth backstage, you see Drake lagging at the back, holding because he's got a stitch. I thought it was really, really fun. He's so good.
Yeah, Drake is, or Rockstar Spud as we know him from over here,
Yeah.
is amazing.
I'm so grumpy with WWE, and grumpy is the word I'm going to use. I'm so grumpy with WWE deciding, or Vince rather, saying that EC3 Drake partnership is never going to work, so we're just not going to put it on TV. So grumpy at them for doing that, because I bet you it would have been great.
Yeah. Then we got another video package for Lars Sullivan. He needs a storyline. I am sick of this demented Big Ben. Dun, 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 dun. Here's my music. And then the same video package. I'm bored of that. I'm bored of him just coming down and trashing people. He's not actually... Like, he was a lot more effectively presented in NXT, where I
No!
I know, hot take. But he's just... He feels so generic at the moment.
Oh, totally. He's big monster heel.
Yeah.
Like, he is he's a one-note character. And you're saying he needs a storyline. He had a storyline with R-Truth that was, I thought, going to build to a match. But it appears that, that has been dropped now. So I don't know. But yeah, Lars does need to do something.
Yeah. Then we got Mandy Rose versus Carmella. It wasn't much of a match at all. It was mostly Sonya saving Mandy and Carmella.
Because she's in love with her.
Yeah, do you think that's where it's going?
That was my guess.
That's what I said the other week. I think they're going to do a Sonya has emotional feelings for Mandy.
Because Stephanie said we're going to get LGBTQ storylines, and that storyline is Sonya is in love with Mandy.
And, sometimes you've got to trust in WWE to do these sensitive storylines
100%.
with respect.
Oh, yeah, and I think that they are doing it with respect.
Yeah. Dad, we need to do these LGBTQ stories really, really well. So, okay. I mean, they've got to kiss, right?
Stephanie, can you be kissed by them?
So, the Sonya Mandy stuff builds and Carmella's beating up Sonya as well. But then the whole undercard run down because Truth's out there. They cotton on that it's not Carmella's sister or whatever, and they chase him through the crowd and out of the building, really. And the match, I guess, is called off. The bell just rings.
There's a DQ. They caused the DQ.
Okay. But they never... no women were ever knocked over.
No, but they ran into the ring and stopped the match.
That happens all the frickin' time in WWE.
Yeah, exactly. Brock Lesnar. Hell in a Cell. Ends a match, mate.
If we're going by those rules, one of the B teams should have just won that match between Carmella and Mandy Rose. Then we got a Bayley interview. She said she made her own moment at Money in the Bank.
Yes, she's no. There's a difference between Bayley the hugger and Bayley the champ.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's nice.
Yeah. Let's hope this continues.
Was there any follow up to Becky being upset that she lost the SmackDown title on Raw?
Not much.
That's a shame. That's actually really frustrating.
She was just she was angry at the people calling her Becky One Belt to the extent where she challenged them to a 6-person tag.
Okay.
Well, it was a 1-on-3 she challenged them to, but 2 people joined her.
Okay.
How could this, like Simon said yesterday, there are 2 people, right, we know where this is going, give us some credit. Then we got R-Truth is continued to be chased into a room, but it's had a notice on the room. Were they not meant to go in there? Because they ran right back
I don't know.
out.
I was trying to work out who was running. So I picked up, there was Matt Hardy and Brian Kendrick in there. And then I found out through going to the images that Akira Tozawa was also part of this Motley Crue running after them with the B team and Jinder.
Yeah. And
The big stars.
They all run past, and Sami Zayn's there, smiles, and then walks to the ring.
Walks to the ring.
So it's a shame because I would have liked Sami to have gone and then think about going after it and then go, damn, I've got the match.
Even he doesn't care.
Yeah. It's already...
It's comedy It's a comedy nonsense belt for the undercard to do something with.
But you can get... That's not a bad idea. Like, you can get that over to the extent where it's actually a really big thing in the company.
Oh, yeah. But that's not the aim.
But I've written this here. I think seeing them run past Sami, although he rather dismissively smirked at these fools going after a joke title, it does make... They are putting in groundwork to make the backstage area
Feel alive.
an actual place.
Yeah.
Where people aren't just stuck in their own feuds and they do talk to each other and their characters, which is what I want.
And you and I are talking about this today of like if they can try and replicate some of that magic of the 24/7 rule, which actually, like, really in hindsight didn't last as long as a lot of people remember it to. It was actually only effectively in for a couple of months, and then they just went back to doing regular hardcore matches. But if you can try and replicate some of the stuff like they did at the airport or in the ball pits and things like that, you know, the funhouse thing, or Gerald Briscoe pinning the sleeping Crash Holly, because it's not. People don't remember the matches. People don't remember the hardcore stuff. They just remember the wacky title changes.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to. That's what you want to replicate with this 24/7. You don't need the hardcore bits. You just need the fun that came with the 24/7 rule.
Totally. So to carry on with the expanded universe feel backstage, I don't think I want that to mean Elias is randomly standing on top of a production truck while serenading Roman as he walks to the ring.
Well, Elias is playing his guitar outside, waiting for Reigns to arrive. My thought is, we're nearly an hour into the show. Why isn't Reigns here yet? Why hasn't he shown up to work on time?
It was kind of funny, but I was just like, why is this happening?
Yeah.
So whatever. Then we got Lacey Evans and Charlotte, the blonde people, taking on Bayley and Becky.
The champs.
Yeah, the champs. The two belt between them, but not on Becky.
Becky one belt and Bayley new champ.
But yeah, Bayley and Becky cut a gorilla position promo, and Bayley teased wanting to be two belts too.
Yeah, and Becky said, you know, I'm going to try and get my title back. There's me thinking, but you're a Raw guy now. So can you go for the SmackDown Championship? I know there's a wild card, but are you allowed to do that?
I think she's a SmackDown talent.
No, I think she came out with a Raw strap.
Did she?
Yeah, when she came out for this match. So I think she is Raw.
Tell us, Wikipedia.
Hello, we'll go to Wikipedia and not www.com.
They don't know. Female wrestlers on SmackDown.
Oh, she's not.
She's not listed there anymore.
Okay, is she on Raw then?
She must be. There she is on Raw.
Yeah.
Okay.
So so I guess she's on Raw now.
It's a fish.
It's not, but it's almost as official as damn it I can get, I guess.
You know what annoyed me in this match?
Please tell me.
They've probably been doing it forever, but it only just grated me this time. When Becky Lynch was introduced, the ring announcer introduced her as someone like the person who made history at WrestleMania 35 by main eventing it and beating Ronda Rousey.
Yep.
Like, do you know that's the heel shtick you do to Baron Corbin's entrance?
Yeah. It was remarkable how they didn't see that.
Like that's not how baby faces work. They're meant to be humble. I mean, yeah, sure, The Rock and calling themselves the Man. But that feels different and organic.
They've earned it.
Yeah.
Like Baron Corbin's whole deal is he's giving Mike Rowe and whoever it is these little placard things to say and do my ring introduction.
Yeah.
Because he thinks that these things need to be said. Whereas this company is essentially saying like, yeah, no, you should cheer her for all of her accolades, as opposed to just being she is the Raw Women's Champion. I had to think about which belt she had. I liked the fact that Corey made a Napoleon Dynamite reference on commentary. Yeah, nice little obscure one where he said that he could throw a pigskin over a quarter mile, which is an Uncle Rico line, which I appreciated in the morning.
I thought this was a good tag.
Formulaic tag, but it was fine.
Yeah, it was just nice to see Bayley and Becky on this level teaming together.
Yeah.
Against Flair, and Sasha Banks. Wouldn't that have been the perfect storyline to continue this through.
Absolutely.
Like that Charlotte and Sasha used to be these worst of enemies, but now they're...
Yeah, well, they were the BFFs in NXT with Summer Rae, I think was the third part of that act.
But Bayley rolled Flair up to win. So presumably... It's bad psychology, though. Bayley needs a win, but surely Charlotte is her main competitor.
Well, they were putting over that Charlotte... They are feuding now. That it is Bayley versus Charlotte, and it's Becky versus Lacey. Over on the Raw side of things. But the storyline is that Charlotte has been pinned twice by Bayley.
But Charlotte beat Bayley a couple of weeks ago on SmackDown.
Well, yeah, but you're not supposed to remember that. That was weeks ago, Davis.
Wins and losses, please matter. Come on, AEW. Then we got Truth attacked by Jinder Mahal backstage.
He got a near fall.
Oh, but the B team sort of came into
They argued
confusion.
amongst themselves of who should get the pin.
Confusion allowed them to run off into the night. So Truth is still, at the time of broadcasting, the 24/7 champion.
Or as he calls it, the European champion.
Then we got the Ziggler explanation interview. Then we got a really fun Triple H versus Randy Orton video package that recapped the feud between the two, Evolution, the home invasion stuff.
Goofy home invasion stuff they did.
That ended in 2009.
Yeah.
This whole match build-up, which was really effective, it did make me want to see a match between the two. But nothing new has happened in a decade.
Well, they skipped over the fact that they were in the Authority together. But I guess Randy didn't have a turn to get out of the Authority, which is why they didn't follow that up. But like Randy was the chosen one. He was the guy. He was the face of the company when they didn't want Daniel Bryan to be the champion. But I guess they didn't want to put that story in there. They just wanted to no, it was Evolution, Home Invasion, WrestleMania, and that was it.
Well, I think that's where the Saudi Crown Prince has got up to on the network.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so he's just finished 2009.
So he's looking for Mark Jindrak matches.
Yeah.
And Rene Dupree.
Yeah. And then we got our main event. Roman Reigns versus Elias.
Because this is mid-card. This WWE Championship feud, this is the mid-card. Roman Reigns versus Elias with the Omni-Chain. That's your main event. This is your big program on SmackDown.
I thought this is not an intriguing main event to stick around for. And I know their Money in the Bank match was a sort of... it wasn't a match, so there's justification for putting on a rematch between the two.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to see it.
No, I did joke in the review that this was, the match that everyone wanted to see from Money in the Bank. I'm glad we get to see it again. That I wasn't completely enthused about this either. And really, the only reason this was the main event is because you wanted to do the Dolph promo after the beatdown, but you also wanted to have the big Drew McIntyre surprise and lay Roman Reigns out at the end, I guess. That's how you wanted to end the show off.
Yeah, so that's what happened. The match itself, I thought, was very slow going at the start. But to its credit, it did pick up. And Roman, when he gets going and he runs around the ring, and after Shane had interfered a bit, he hits a cool drive-by drop kick on Shane. And then the guitar gets involved, but Roman spears him. It's really good babyface booking.
Stacking the odds.
In a match, yeah. And it is that's classic booking to get a babyface over like that. If it was someone we all really loved, it would be even more effective.
Yeah.
But
there were some boosts for him coming out as well. And this is always going to happen. If you're going to have him on every single show, people will turn against him because they'll just see it for what it is of him being across every show. We'll go back to you're shoving him down our throats, and people will turn on him. Having him on both shows is not the way to keep this man over as a babyface.
So Roman wins after hitting a spear, and then Shane beats him down. And does he win?
Shane was beating him down, but then Roman made a comeback and hit the Superman punch on him.
But did the match actually finish?
Yeah, Roman won.
He beat
Elias.
I couldn't remember if Shane stopped that from happening. But yeah, Shane's beating him down, but Roman comes back, and then Drew McIntyre claymores him.
The Scottish psychopath. Yeah, poor old Drew has escaped the mid-card vortex, but has just fallen right into an Omni-Chain.
He's a raw guy. Wild card, I know, but... Ugh.
And it's just one more time, I say one more time, it's not going to be the last time, of Drew being a second to someone he does not need to be a second to.
Yeah.
It's gone from Dolph Ziggler to Braun Strowman to Baron Corbin to Bobby Lashley and now over to Shane.
Someone said on Reddit that it's maybe a character trait that Drew will just align himself with anyone who wants to beat up a member of the Shield. And he hates the Shield so much, he's always going after them. But yeah, it sounds like we were down on this show because Dolph Ziggler's return is a bit sort of meh, even though it's intriguing, and the sort of Shane McMahon stuff is really sucking the life out of any segment he's in. But I did enjoy this show.
I gave it a 4 out of 5. I enjoyed the show.
Yeah, I give it a high smack bang in the middle, 3 out of 5.
So negative. so negative.
But let's get on with your super chats.
Indeed. Start actually with just someone pointed out that Ali has been fasting for the past month, so everything he's done, like Money in the Bank and SmackDown,
that's
and everything.
incredible.
That is very impressive.
And also, tomorrow is 20 years since the death of Owen Hart.
It is, yeah.
Which I thought was pretty crazy to think about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
David Myers, no message, but thank you for your donation.
Thank you,
David. Nathaniel Cadogan says, you guys are phenomenal. Keep up the good work.
Cheers,
It's a bit much. We're fine.
Yeah.
Broadly fine.
Elizabeth Mazora from Korea says, I saw some of the female superstars tweet they wanted to find Truth's hotel. Y'all think that means the female wrestlers can also win the belt?
Well, that or they really like Truth.
Yeah.
Mickey James has publicly challenged him. So.
Good.
Well, yeah.
That's great.
I don't think they'll be posting that if that wasn't allowed by WWE, so hopefully let's make it even more zany.
I don't know if housemate Simon said this on the show yesterday, or housemate Hyman, about his whole thing of like just giving it to the wrestlers in between Raw and SmackDown, between SmackDown and Raw tapings, just giving it to them and just do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
So long as by the next episode of Raw, this person has the championship because we want to do this storyline with them. And you just give it to them and be like, run free. Go film stuff on Twitter, go film stuff and put it up on Facebook. We'll cover it on the website. And just have fun with it.
Yeah.
Record yourselves in hotel rooms, record yourselves in the parking lot, do this, that, and the other. And just like that then drives people to the social media channels to try and see who's got the belt next.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a great
I
idea.
think so, yeah, it's really good.
Danny DeVito on our fans says, can I donate money to the Bayley Sting cause?
I mean, you were my favourite Friends cameo, but you may even bester now. Now you're going behind this Bayley Sting angle.
We're talking about getting a WWE Universe mode set up for Screenstalk when we play 2K19 on it. Maybe if we hit some Patreon goal, maybe we'll put Bayley Sting in there. Jesus Christ.
10,000. David Myers, once again, no message, but thank you for your donation. Sean Turner says, if Bayley Sting is in your WWE universe, she gets a +7 with her score. This makes her the same score with Ronda.
It makes her she's got the same amount as Ronda.
If it's a DQ match, +10 because bat.
Okay.
Yeah,
so a lot of 2K19 stuff I don't understand.
No, me neither.
That game is baffling to play. It's too complicated.
I'm getting used to it.
It's too complicated.
Casey Svakowski says, I think they should give the 24 belt to Drew and build him up, just beating everyone, then go for the main belt and get him away from Corbin.
It's a comedy belt. Do not put it on Drew.
Message from nothing from message retracted, obviously, but thank you for whoever you are.
Thank you.
Jobber JJ says, can jobbers get over? If so, can you get me over? Not me, him.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Yeah, well, James Ellsworth got over.
Absolutely, he did. There's plenty of examples of jobbers that have gotten over in time. I'm trying to think what name was in ECW now.
Mikey Whipwreck.
Mikey Whipwreck, thank you very much. Yeah, Mikey Whipwreck.
Blue Pants.
Blue Pants is a great example. Blue Pants got so over in NXT, she was part of the first ever Brooklyn show. They called her up specifically for it.
Stephen Cause says, Baron Corbin and Shane should each win the 24/7 championship, then we can see them all the time.
Well, we see them all the time anyway.
Jobber JJ pumps in again with just saying jobbers need work.
That's why they've given them the belt.
It's in the name.
Ivan Drago says, too soon to predict WWE streams Truth defending the 24/7 championship on the network and or YouTube during the entirety of Double or Nothing.
Yeah, that's how to get that audience away from Double or Nothing.
I bought my ticket, but Truth
is defending the belt, I think, at some hotel.
Sean Larkin says, been here since the start. I don't know if you mean since the stream or since the start of WrestleTalk. Keep it up, guys.
Thank you very, very much.
Day one is H.
Day one is H.
Fifi07 Gaming says, thanks for all the video content.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're
We
welcome,
very much
Fifi.
appreciate it.
Jobber JJ back in again says, by the end of the year, I will be 24/7 champion.
Everyone's within a
Go
shot.
for it. Yeah, just try and run in. Actually, no, I'm not going to tell people to run
Absolutely,
in and attack
let's not
wrestlers.
encourage that whatsoever. That is a dangerous precedent to
Yeah.
set.
Patrick Hall. Luke, please treat Andy better. Being mean is X-Pac heat.
Not being mean. Not being mean to.
Well, we will address the procedure of checks, so nothing like this happens again.
Yeah.
D Devil says, I really hope Bray Wyatt becomes the WWE champion.
Yeah.
Let's see if it
Let's-
works.
I was going to say, I thought he was going to debut the new character this week, but we'll see, I guess.
Accidentally Awesome says, Lars versus Bray. Book it.
That's a big question. Lars versus Bray, book it.
Or are they just saying that that's what they want?
Oh yeah. Oh, like take my money.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to see those two go against each other.
No, not particularly.
Ben Greenwood, man who submitted his predictions halfway through Money in the Bank, says, loved SmackDown last night, really enjoyed it. And then he says, to my previous donation, I watched it in clips and watched it in my own order. I watched Roman vs. Elias, then watched Kofi Dolph. Thought that would make sense.
Oh, so you watched your own order of WWE?
He did like his own edit of the show.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting way to do it.
How would you know? So you must have seen what was happening in the show before you edit it, though.
Well, no, you just like pick out the clips that interest you the most.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And then
That
you
makes
just put
sense.
all those ones at the end
Yeah.
and the ones you don't want to see at the start.
Victor Vega says, did you see Lacey give her gloves to a child fan?
Yeah, it did. Babyface move.
Yeah.
Regular Bret Hart, she is.
My you didn't mention this, but we had a good giggle about it. When Lacey was doing her handkerchief thing, she dabbed her face, then dabbed her armpits, then dabbed her face again. I was like, well, you got armpit sweat on your face there. Oh no, hang on.
Yeah.
Mike Geezer, no message, but thank you very much for
Thanks,
your
Mike.
Thank you.
generous donation. Tomo back in with another
Tomo.
ridiculous donation. I don't know where you're getting it from, but Roman Reigns versus Elias, 2.5-star match, not enough rest holds, also have more money.
Cheers.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thank you very much. There was a good rest hold in it though. Yeah.
Luis Nunez, no message, but thank you very
Thanks,
much, Luis.
Luis.
And
Thank you.
lastly, from it was no one just popped in there. Cool Stuff 9217 says, "Do you guys remember Colin Delaney from ECW?" I think talking about jobbers. I do indeed.
Yeah.
He was on WWE as well. He was on WWE quite recently.
Last year, I think he did a match with. Oh, was it last year? Or was it like a couple of years before? He was part of the Braun thing when
Yeah.
Braun first came up, wasn't he? Yeah.
He changed a lot. He's much bigger now. And finally, Callan Marshall, no message, but a nice donation. So thank you to
Thank you
her
so-
or him.
so
no, wait,
much.
we've got one more.
Oh.
William Adams says, who can do Shane McMahon's best in the world introduction longer, Ollie or Luke?
Okay.
The
best in the world.
Luke's the winner.
Shane McMahon.
I thought I was going to beat you. Saw terror in your eyes.
Because I thought I was going to start laughing.
Okay, well, we've also got, thank you very much for your super chats. We've also got our lovely pledge hammers to thank. So thank you, Steep Climb, James McAhill.
Yes, nice. Let off some steam, Dom Bennett.
Whoa, yes.
Nice.
They're not on my form.
Harry and the Hendersons, Burgess.
Yes,
Whoa,
nice.
Yes.
He's strong, Justin Roderick.
Whoa,
nice.
whoa. The Life of Jordan Riley.
Oh,
Thank
lovely.
you,
Lightning
Jordan.
Seeds reference.
The Chronicles of Stefan Riddock, but you've put in brackets here, Riddick.
Yes, because it's just Riddick. So I've done that phonetically for you. So because
Riddock.
Because he said on Patreon, a lot of people make the mistake thinking it's Riddock, but it's actually just Riddick.
Oh, you just pronounce it Riddick.
Yeah.
the name works even better then.
Yeah.
Thank
the
you,
Chronicles
Riddick.
of Riddick. Hey! King of the Super Chat, Jay-Z.
Super
JZ.
Chat. Jason Ella.
Aye. It's Power Rangers.
Oh.
Alpha
Ella.
5, yeah.
Alpha 5, yeah. Woo!
Woo! Nice. Raz the Man, Reality.
Yes.
Yeah, nice work.
The difficult surname, John Inahuazo.
Nice, good work. Woo! Praise him, Jonathan Prieston.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mad Dog Joshua Maddox.
Oh. Xandermania running wild.
Xandermania,
He was with
the
us for
man
Money
of
in
the
the Bank.
T-shirts. Was he there for Money in the
He
Bank?
was there for Money in
That's
the
cool.
Bank.
Rebel Without a Crew, Robert Rodriguez.
Nice.
Woo.
The King of Chaos, Thane Krios.
Yes!
Nice.
And that's all we've got time for today. Please click the videos that have just appeared on the desk to catch up with the latest WrestleTalk awesome things, and this button right here, which will take you to Pledgehammer, which will make you a Pledgehammer on Patreon, and you can get your own shout-outs in this show. I've been Oli Davis. This has been Luke Owen. Over there was Randy Andy Datson, and that was Rambling.